So Swansea have just lost the Welsh derby in the Championship to Cardiff, putting their league position in tatters from where it started. Manager slightly under pressure, now results have fallen off a bit. And Russell Martin, a fan favourite, is now available for the job. But today we put them rumours to rest. It's going to be me coming into Swansea City to right the wrongs and make Swansea the best team, not only in Wales, but using Welsh talent to make them the world's best team. As yes, people had to dress fully in white for the occasion, I am now the Swansea City boss with one aim and one aim only: to rebuild this team, which to be fair has a lot of nationalities in it, such as Portuguese, English, Brazilian. We've got some Welshmen, and that's the aim for today. We can keep the current players here, but we can only sign Welsh players, the only aim. Yes, Bale was a Cardiff fan, but we're going to try and find the next Bale, Ramsey, all the best Welsh players. And this will not be an easy challenge. We haven't got live points on at the moment. They are slightly broke, but still gives us an opportunity to sign some Welsh talent. And also, you can probably tell by now, if you can't hear me right, my voice is dead. It is gone. I'm a little bit under the weather, but that does not stop a challenge as £7 million to spend. With Welshmen, I do like it, because they shouldn't be the most expensive of players. But let's not think straight about signings. Let's have a look at the talent we've currently got. As Eom Jing Sung, a player definitely we could keep for the future. Goncalo Franco, quite young. We've got some young players like Harry Darling's a decent defender. I know he has a little bit of potential to him. Ronaldo as well, the Brazilian, looks a very good player, can play either wing. And then a young striker from, I believe, Slovenia, Vipontinic. I'm going to struggle with names today. We've got Abby out on loan. We've got Pert Harris in on loan. So excited for this. Oh, hang on, Abby's actually in on loan. Never mind. We've got to set this team up and find the best formation to fit each one of these players in. Now, like the last rebuild we did with Luton Town, I am the manager, so I can pick my favoured shape. And I'm going to go 4-4-2 basic. Not only does it let us have wingers, Ronaldo's going to be on that side, then we'll get Sung on the other. We do get to use this man, Liam Cullen. As goalkeeper, first priority, can we find a Welshman? Then maybe right back, Josh Key. 24-year-old still. Could even go midfielder, but the most exciting thing for me, we already start with a scout, and you know we can make our own Welsh players. Or find them, as I've got to do it. I know we're not playing wingers at the moment, but I'm going to search for wingers because I am looking for Gareth Bale's regen. As that is that sorted, now we've got to try and sign some Welshmen through the market, and we should roughly have around 6 million to spend. Have to keep some wages available for the youth academy prospects, as no real good keepers. Nathan Shepherd the best one. So in comes the youngster. Yeah, I don't know about him. 23-year-old, but he's the best of the young bunch, as he just gets added to a long list of players we are going to loan out, including a few more Welsh prospects. As you can see, Sam Parker could be a future right back, but just to cover my options, Finn Stevens from St. Pauli. Don't know much about this guy, but I will activate the release clause, get another Welshman into the club, and then move on out to find that central midfielder. And with Reading in a bit of trouble, Charlie Savage seems the man to take a chance on, as it hasn't cost us too much money. We're stacking up at the moment a few low knee boys to just build for the future. Trust the team we have right now, as this is what we've got in the academy. Also, them youngsters going straight back out on loan, as this is how the team looks. I don't understand it. We've got a lot of good players not play, like Franco, like Cullen, but then some good ones have played, like Ji-sung and Ronald. This team needs a lot of work still. We do have a good rated player in Franco leading the way, and then Ji-sung is good, but if we really can help it, I'd rather have some Welsh players in there as the best. As you can see, they're on balance drills because I tried to loan them out. We only got our new lads out on loan. And Tony Hargist, fantastic from the youngster at Antalyaspor, 18. Then we've got Finn Stevens at a 69. Savage at a 69 also. Then Shepherd hasn't done too well. I think I'll focus my scouting next year on that position, as Josh Ginley the top scorer. No wonder Cullen hasn't got any game time, as Ginley helps fire Swansea to an 11th place championship position. Not bad at all for the first season in this league as Palace win the FA Cup. Guessing we didn't have a run. Losing 2-1 to Stockport, the league below. Shameful. And then Morecambe 1-0 in round 2 of the Carabao. The team that finished bottom of the Football League in 24th. That can't happen again. And the best way to stop it happening is liking and subscribing to the channel. Cannot be taking defeats to teams leagues and leagues below us. As first things first, it's simple. We've got to go to the academy, as I've got to be really tactical with where I send my scouts this season, as when we select goalkeeper, that is the only position we can look for. But I'm gonna risk it because the 3 we have at the club, come on, let's be honest. Shepherd is not good enough. Don't really know why I tried to sign him. Probably because I wanted to save some money, as the best players you can see mostly are not Welsh apart from Ben Cabango. And the team looks the same. No changes, just hope it plays. Same as last season, but the bench, I would say that is a lot stronger. Stevens on it, Hardgist, Savage and Yates. We have got him back from a loan at Derby, not the best player. There's a lot of players down here that still could get loaned out, like Cooper for the wing. Never actually noticed him. Could really make an impact, as after only scouting, we've got 5 million left. Did that send the scout out for ages? I must have done as quickly. Let's go back to the first team for a second. As fullbacks and potentially a striker are the priority. And the only problem with Wales or Welsh players is the defenders are the best players like Ethan Ampadu, who we can't afford. But then there's even cheap ones. If only we could find a striker with the same potential as this man, Owen Beck, who was at Blackburn and is a really good player who we've actually got for very cheap due to a swap deal because Josh Tyman is included, leaving us £3 million, and we'll probably get to spend 2 of that now because same as last year, we have got to pay our youth prospects. As let's see to them first, shall we? And actually quite a decent one. 6'8" in fact. Michael Morris, 61 rated. If we loan him out, he can be good. I know I need to get training drills on the players that won't come to the first team because I'm going to promote many. In fact, all of them who, of course, was over the age of 15 and eligible to come to the first team so they can all go and play in the EFL. Hopefully, and I'm getting croaky now as I need a striker. And I'm going to go for a young gun. Can we maybe find a regen from another club? But no. There is Freddie Isaka, who, screw it, I will go ahead and take a little chance upon. Take a chance on him as he's only 19, 64 rated. Not bad, as you can see. I've been very busy with loaning players out. Alan Jones doing very well. We've also got Williams, we've got Morris, Pritchard, Targis 74. As yes, I did decide to loan him out. Struggled to loan a lot of the lower rateds out of Stevens. He went to Leyton Orient. And Charlie Savage to Boa Vista. I took a huge risk here. Loaned out all my Welshmen for a second season running that weren't first team quality to try and up their ratings for future seasons. Minimal impact, but maximum gain further on. Kept players like Beck in the team, 75, Cabango, and also Franco. He's not Welsh, but 25, 78 rated. Really helped the team. Same with Ji-sung. It's actually good. And Cullen has got game time, which we love to see. But we don't love to see this glitch. We are not getting shown the calendar for some reason. And that usually means one thing. You do lose the UCL final, but it must mean we've lost a final, as you can see at the bottom. Wins over Coventry twice means we were in the playoffs, and also a win against the rivals Cardiff. Love to see it, but then we know when it pauses, it must be a loss, as that must be the championship playoff final, which I'm very surprised we made, because just look at the team, look at it. A lot of better players out on loan than what we currently have at the club, and we must have done that well here, only using Welsh players. Aston Villa have offered us the job as manager, which of course we won't be taking, as the top scorer is a weird one as well. Jerry Yates, who will be losing, his contract does expire, and with him being 29-year-old, I thought, screw it, I'll just let it expire. But Vigouroux, you can see the goalkeeper running out. Also Fisher here, which means once back from his loan, Michael Morris, the 6'8" beast, will play. As there I am in the shorts, He is getting kicked out, Vigouroux. This is the season now. I know we've just made the playoff final, but we must push on, especially with the players we've got back now. Savage, Hargist, Morris, of course the goalie, who will play, same as Hargist like I said, and Stevens. With the bench honestly looking like a lower Premier League bench that could survive, as now we've got to take our tactics more seriously. We've done our loaning out, of course more will still be done, but we do want to get promoted, so short passing, a high approach, and a tactical setup now, which does make us very attacking, despite the 4-4-2, so we've got to go better than the playoff final with £9 million, and you know the only players we can buy are Welshmen, but first, we've got to go back to the academy, as defence is doing alright, so I'm going to look for midfielders or a striker. Don't need too many centre mids, and there wasn't any good young Welsh strikers, so let's get rid of the age barrier. We've just got to go for quality now to get us up to that Premier League. As a player in the last video with Luton, I did say, has just transferred to Huddersfield for £3 million, and he's not even a tall striker, but Joe Taylor has an abundance of potential. So he comes into the club, which I'm happy about, but not so much the fee and the wage some of our players are taking now, as this is exactly why I wanted to focus more on younger players, because Beck, Taylor, you can see, very high wages, which is destroying us as a club. But what's not destroying us is, of course, going to the academy. Not the best intake here. Some wingers, as you can see, but we haven't received a striker. That's really what we needed. A young upcoming forward. I guess Taylor will have to be it. And I did want a backup winger for the time being, as £3 million we can fully spend on one. And the man I thought I'd go for, Rabbi Matondo at Rangers, but as you can see just below him, another player upcoming at Rangers is this 5-star skill move wonder kid Moss, who unfortunately takes a high wage but will stay in the first team. Sits comfortably on that bench, as this team, speaking of comfortable, should be in the Premier League. Look at the midfield, we've got 80s in here. Our highest is now Hargist at 20-year-old, one of our youngsters, Beck, 80, one of our best signings, and overall really good, just what I wanted it to get to, and this should put up a fight for Premier League promotion. Long gone are the days of Michu and Borja Baston, Lorente. Welsh lads are the future now, as Wine has done alright as a winger. Alright mate, and we've also loaned out Freddie Asaka as well as Sam Parker, right back. 69 at 20-year-old. Could allow us to sell Josh Key when we get to the Premier League, because he had a good rating, and also I'm releasing non-Welsh players. That's going to be my philosophy. When they're not Welsh, try and sell them, as Housey 77 rated when Cullen got 41 goals. Didn't see many for Taylor there. Ginley got some game time, as look at that. 116 points. Yes, we had a good team, but honestly I thought Leicester City and Leeds United for one will be a lot closer in terms of points tally. Did they have another game left? I don't know. As the FA Cup, United went and won that. I would love to get a trophy now. As no Carabao Cup, and you might think that's me being slightly greedy, because we have just got Prem promotion, but I want to win some silverware. As now 3 seasons deep, I wanted it to be 2 seasons in. We did get into the Premier League, but had to just prioritise loaning to get players good enough, as now we need to prioritise buying. With 40 million as a budget, that opens the door to a lot of better Welsh players we need to sign, and I feel like I'm lying a little bit with the title. It does say Welsh only when we've got Ronald and Ji-sung, so maybe we send out a scout again to look for a few more wingers, as then we can sell them and then we can buy more Welsh players. Works out, doesn't it? As I trust the tactics. Darling was one of the players I was going to transfer list. He's done it himself already. The captain is Josh Key. He is hopefully going to be sold. And yes, out of interest in his final year of contract, Ji-sung will be listed. And where is our other man? Ronald. Here he is. Of course, he's a brilliant player, but I do want to go for them Welshmen, as that's not a Welshman in the swap, but Key has a bid in for him, good thing coming to us? Is that bid? But as you'll see in a moment, we're on a selling spree. As that's right, Ji-sung has been bought by Aston Villa, the team that offered us a job, as here goes Josh Key. That negotiation took about 5 minutes, but I've got money out of him. And finally, most damning of all, the player I just did call a good baller, Ronald, is going to Chelsea for half of 100 million, leaving us 133 mil. I do want to carry on the academy, but I'm going to save that till last. Now we go and hunt the best. Welsh players, that sounded a bit more dramatic than it needed to be. A centre-back first. Darling still is at the club, but we lack centre-backs, and come on, Ethan Ampadu, he does have a link to Swansea. Was it his dad that did play for this club a long time? Might have got my facts wrong, but now, the business after this may come as a shock to a lot of you guys watching, as I'm doing the double from Leeds, getting Joe Rodon 82 rated before going to his former club Rennes in the French league to go ahead and get Jordan James, another Welsh youngster, splashing the cash. And you might ask, Max, why have you done this? Why have you gone for 3 Welsh players and not got any Welsh wingers in? And the short answer to that is, despite our promotion, I weighed up our players here and decided this 5 at the back is probably sensible. Go more defensive for the first season. That is the play I'm making, as these are the ratings as well. Looks like a very good first season in the Premier League with our youngster, top in Hargest. Fed up of saying his name because it's actually hurting my throat to say so. Beck doing quite well. Rodon at 30. Little bit old for the team, I'll give him that, as the goal scorers. Cullen with 22. Sure, it's not the 40 like last time, but it is still a huge amount, as we have been loaning players out like Harry Wine, Lloyd and Gilliam, some youngsters. Been here quite a while, as this is it on paper. I just thought I'd show you the ratings firstly. Morris needs to get to the 80 rating. Same with Taylor up front. And yeah, that team I'm very proud with, especially to be in the Premier League. 4 seasons deep with it, as, oh my days, we've just survived by the skin of our teeth, sending West Ham and Ipswich down, and also Leeds United, but don't really need to mention that because we kind of screwed them over. Sorry to Leeds. Hey, needed to be done. They did have the best Welsh defenders. It worked, it kept us up, as the FA Cup we haven't won. Said I did want to win a trophy, and United beat us 3-0. But then the Carabao Cup, it's a completely different story. 1-0 over Arsenal. We go ahead and win it. Surely that means, is it Conference League, the Carabao? I don't care, it's a trophy. And that is the first one, believe it or not, or actually no, the second one into the cabinet. Meaning we'll play in this next year, which had the likes of Stuttgart, Chelsea, Jose's Fenerbahce in 7th. Wow. Gonna be a huge challenge. We didn't use any youth players this year, and with 21 million saved, maybe we should challenge in it. Or is that me being a little bit hopeful, as here we go, the next season, the players returning. 2 I didn't show you. Cooper's been out on loan, and also Freddie Isaka. Not bad, maybe doesn't just get on the bench just yet. Maybe Cooper does if we need to change the shape. We've got a Cam there, as we can loan a lot of players out. A lot on international duty, everybody but Franco, who of course isn't Welsh. He's the only one who isn't Welsh, and at 27 years of age, prime time in a footballer's career, so he's off on the transfer list. See if he can make us some money, as I'm not worried about the money at the moment. 63 million from a Carabao Cup victory. Also staying in the Premier League, I'm more worried about finding some decent Welsh talent, because I think we've got the best young ones. Also in Season 5, so the best ones at the moment may be retiring soon, like Rodon, so let's again look for some younger, as it seems a lot are in the EFL, which is normal because there isn't lower leagues of Wales in here, as Charlie Pearce looks okay. From a rival, that is, and yeah, the second best is Scott Young, so not many good Welsh players younger at other clubs, so if we take the age off, maybe check the Championship first, see what talent's in here, as there is Nathan Broadhead, just relegated alongside Wes Burns at 33. And then there's Ruben Colwill, who of course plays for the rivals. But hey, isn't this a perfect buy, you know. Again from Leeds United, but Charlie Crew at 22 could of course replace the position in the middle of the park. Oh, but he's just signed a pre-contract. No. First time this has happened in quite a while, joining Trabzonspor. Will keep my eye on him though, because I'm guessing he played for Leeds United last season, as they struggled as Niall Huggins, potentially another player we could sign. But now it's time to check the Premier League. Any good ones in here? Well, there is, but he doesn't fit the formation. Brennan Johnson. What the heck could we do with this man here? Signed up still, as I don't know his allegiances, maybe to Cardiff or Swansea, I don't know, but he's a very solid player. And this is what I think I'll do with him. No, not put him as a centre-back, but as a striker. The only problem is the amount of weeks it will take. Because I like the formation I'm playing, I do not want to switch it from it, as I'm just going to shove him up front in the first team. Franco. Now we've got to make a decision. Do we actually sell him? Because we could sell players like Savage instead. A bid from Aston Villa. Not much money, I should say. Plus, at the moment, Charlie Crew, I feel like he was the perfect player. I might just be patient, let our middleman have another season, sign Niall Huggins in the meantime for a backup fullback on the bench, and screw it. I thought, why not go ahead again and go to Leeds for an ex-Swansea player, Dan James. Right, I'm happy to have him back, but make this make sense for me. And that isn't just the bug I've got, but how did we go down? West Ham aren't down here. Did it not just want to relegate the Hammers? Don't understand it as we go down, but at least we are going straight back up. And hey, that was a trophy I saw, so I'm taking another championship title. I'll never shy away from them, as we lost in the round of 16 of the FA Cup and lost to Charlton round 2 of the Carabao. Luckily enough for us though, despite it stupidly relegating us, we were in the Conference League after winning the League Cup, something Swansea, and I didn't say this, did in 2012-13. Ashley Williams lifting the trophy as we won in the playoffs against Nice, as I'm struggling to speak, beating Fiorentina. Then we beat Bromley 3-0. That puts us into a semi-final, beating Valencia 2-0. Estoril Praia, the finalists, who we go and beat. Then again, only 1-0. So despite a stupid relegation, I need to look at what EA are doing, because they're obviously not fixing their game, Life Point's not working right, and the Premier League, as this is a team we have, and it's good enough to compete in it next year. This shouldn't be 17th or 18th. Ridiculous, as Brennan Johnson hasn't changed positions yet, but Cooper has to a centre mid. That adds to our central midfielders. And our top scorer, because I want to move on very quickly out of this league, was Liam Cullen again. This time, bagging 32. Has to be the weirdest season that I've definitely encountered, but come on. The ratings, we've got an 88 youngster now. The bench looking a lot better. We've got Parker, who started here, and then down in the reserves, Moses is an 82. Also, Iseka now 22, 67. Cooper, like I said, 75. But that doesn't win things, as we should be back in the Premier League. There we go, it says it there. And we are actually in the Europa League with the expectation to win the competition. A very weird one, as I'm not checking our budget just yet. I know which player I want. You know which player it is. Charlie Crew over at Trabzonspor, 85 rated. But look at that evaluation, man. 105 million. And after contracts, which I usually start with, we've lost £10 million to take us to 51. We need to make some profit. As first things first, huge bid for a bench player. Harry Darling, but I've grown accustomed to just having him as a backup. Then Cullen, 2 big bids from Arsenal and Wolfsburg. But the best bid of all, 80 million for Goncalo Franco. And that is actually in a swap deal, which we do want to get rid of. £100 million, please, Post. That gives us enough to go and get our player that we prefer in that place, who's Welsh as Goncalo. Goodbye to Tottenham Hotspur. A Lorente-esque move, as now let's bring this guy home. Charlie Crew, 23. Desperate to get the midfielder, as we smash our transfer record, 105 million, as hopefully with this man, we don't go and suffer another relegation. Buzzing to have him, as you can see, in the middle of the park with the 91 rated at the side of him supporting him. I did this before with Swansea City and also Cardiff City using only Welsh players. Happy that this one's the best one, in my opinion, judging off the ratings, because we've grown youngsters in Hargis, Morris, even Beck. Look at him. Unreal. And Liam Cullen, who started at the club. How many goals for him this season? 25 overall. Unreal. As I'm doing some position swapping, Moses is also getting changed around to a striker. 35 weeks for him. As I can't believe it, Brennan Johnson just getting no closer to a striker. Please don't tell me that relegates us, because I rate him. Come on. We are just above West Ham, but this time it is different. This time, Champions League for Swansea, 3rd place. Brilliant. Have we got a trophy to go with it? Brighton win the FA Cup, 2-1 over Chelsea. So 1 of 3 down. Losing to Accrington. Very porous City go ahead and win the Carabao. We lost to them in the quarterfinals 5-3. That doesn't matter because that is 2 of 3 down. Can we win the Europa League? Would be brilliant if we just went from Conference Europa to Champions League. Believe we've done that once before as we come second in the league phase. No playoff round this time as Stuttgart beaten. They were very good a few years back, and Porto beaten 4-3. The dodgy team as PSV 5-3. Arsenal in the final, but we don't go ahead and win it. Lost on a penalty shootout. And I believe season number 7, forgive me if I lose count, I'm hanging in by a thread, as this team is definitely not at the moment. Johnson is in the first team, but the rest of it is absolutely stupendous. And again, all on Welsh duty. Just a few that are not. So have I set the tactics? No, I haven't. For this formation, can we get more goals out of Cullen? Changing to a shape that actually supports him as poacher. Also got Hargis on his best role, which is a half winger, leaving a lot of room in the middle, as you saw, as it hasn't relegated us this season, and it's give us an adequate budget. 168 million? More than adequate, really, as I don't think there's anyone out there Welsh any good to filter into our starting 11, but I will always take a look as one of the best in the Premier League. Chris Popov, not very good, not better than our youth players, who are all here still, the low-rateds, Gwilt, Reese, Williams. We haven't sent a scout out in a while because I just feel like we don't need them. We have good ones, 76 rated, and then we have progression ones, Alan Moss for example, who's now 31 weeks off a striker, which I'm not too disheartened by. Does have 90 finishing, but I'm gonna surprise you here, or maybe not, by saying for the first time in a while in career mode, I am not going to sign any players for the first team. Think we've got the best Welsh players we can have, as then the objectives: win the Prem title, the FA Cup, and also the Champions League. As I'll do one more skim through. I know the Championship's decent, we've been there twice ourselves. Let's look for any Welsh players. Any good ones down here? Don't see anyone apart from Neco Williams, who in all honesty, we do not need at all. And this is why we didn't need signings, skipping till the end of the year. A low points tally, but again, beating Arsenal like we did in the Carabao Cup to the Premier League this time. Unreal result, as they do still go ahead and get their trophy, as we just like losing to teams below us, Middlesbrough. Then Forest win the Carabao over Brentford, a brilliant finale, as we can't double our cup count, getting stung by the bees. Funnily enough, where Neco Williams was when we just rejected to buy him, as 5th in the Champions League. It's not 2nd like it was in the Europa, but hopefully it's better going, and if round of 16 is anything to judge on, 6-0 against Villarreal is a pretty goddamn good scoreline. Before Sociedad, which to be fair we had to come back against, and then Lille, oh my days, one of the easiest runs you could get, giving us Barca in the final. Is there any Barca Swansea links? None coming to my head, but you can let me know in the comments below, as this is the team that's done it, and we are going to lose a player for this one. James, 88 rated. That could actually be huge. Charlie Savage having to come in, but I do think he's in good company with Crew, 90, Harguest 92, and a bunch of solid ratings. Look at that, we've got 590 rated, including Liam Cullen at 32, still at the club. And if you were a watcher of my Grimsby Town save, must be about 3 years ago, you know the legend of Liam Cullen. He was incredible for us, so if you've been here from that, there's a shout out, as he did get 26 goals, and again, was the top scorer. As no before game graphics, I spent the entire time trying to work out which stadium it is for then the camera to show me at the top Schalke. You can just see the badge, it's off the screen now as Cullen. Come on, we need a win here. Taylor, I've gone up front instead of Brennan Johnson. Maybe off the bench he comes, as now Finn Stevens joined the club as like a 62 rated. So we needed to jump higher than that. Forced to Charlie Savage, handled. Yes, it is a handball. Araujo it hits. And I can't really celebrate. But the man just in the team due to the red card, and that is a close one. But still, I'll fully take a penalty kick. As there's one man to score a lot of goals, Cullen to take it. And I'm going to go to top right. Cullen absolutely buries it. That is 1-0 to Swansea City in less than 10 minutes here. An instant start from our entire team of Welshmen. From losing the Welsh derby in the Championship to Cullen banging a penalty in the Champions League finale. And there should still be time for more, but Barcelona, straight off the bat, has a shot. And the goalkeeper, Morris, I liked the ponytail. Looks a bit like Callum the Dragon here, as he's 6'8". He should save everything. Or shouldn't, because there should be no shots on our goal if we play with our 5-back really well as pass that back. Beck to try and accelerate. He's been brilliant, but that pass a little bit shoddy in the wings. As yes, I know we don't have wingers, but our central midfielders are playing as half wingers as Crew. The DM trying to maybe put a cross in here. Cullen is in the middle. I think he's just offside the header. Wasn't really a good one. And neither is the half, but we might get another attack. Now Harguest on the wing. Of course, he likes to be a half winger. It's his playstyle plus as he's running in. The 92 rated cuts in, goes for the shot. Handball again. Shirley goes lower down, as that was the only real chance of open play in the whole game, as second half is amongst us. A crunching tackle from Bailey. Hopefully doesn't injure anyone, as if they do get injured, we have subs. But Liam Cullen absolutely got round everyone. For then Bailey to go and smash him again, as Savage doesn't have the fitness. Again, a horrid tackle. That time Moses Caicedo. And could this be a red card? Oh my days, it is as well. Caicedo is off the field. Now, I know they've been putting reckless tackles in, but their tactic must be ruined, because that was their whole game in this second half, as now we need to attack better than we have done and get some shots off, as now Savage, he's the main midfielder this game, more than Harguest, and he is unfit at the moment as Cullen swipes away, goes for the shot as well, and it is a goal. 2-0 and 2 for my man Liam Cullen. Did say I'm a huge fan, and he's gone ahead and buried another. That should be hopefully the game over. Araujo didn't come across, and Swansea's finest scored the goal. As that's some good passing, a good save. Morris, get out to the ball. What was he doing just watching after he saved it? Bit of brain lag by him, but still we don't care. We are 2-1 up. I don't like conceding straight away, as Cullen on a breakthrough. Or tried to be, as now Harguest round the corner. Charlie Savage. Taylor, we could take him off, but he is doing Araujo here. If he can get round him, put the cross towards Cullen. As here he is again with the ball. Man of the match, no doubt about it, even if he hadn't scored. As he's gonna go from range. So close once more, as I think he might be offside here. But Cullen, if he can cut inside, I know he's dangerous on the left foot. Over the top though, and still look at the squeezing down. We don't want them scoring a goal. Harguest probably takes a yellow card. As just stopped them coming forward. Charlie Savage to whack the ball up the field. That should go out of play. And that should be the title. The Champions League won, as it's a 2-1 win. Our main magic man, the king of Swansea, Liam Cullen, pulled us out of the mess as Cabango to lift the trophy. He has been here from day one, and you always love black and white ribbons. My club, Grimsby Town, of course, playing black and white, and I'll always love them colours. As who should I rebuild next once I recover? Comment below.